Hello, Matt here. Welcome to my blog at WanderingUpward.org. I'm about a week into my bicycle trip around the country, and I'm at a place that's just below Gainesville, Florida, and I'm visiting a man who is doing an experiment. This is the entrance to his driveway, and this here is a water cistern. It's up on a small hill at the highest point on his property, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Let's start walking this way. And he is trying to see how sustainably he can live without any inputs from outside of the property. And he's been doing this for since 2005, so about 9 years he's been living on this property. Just look at these these flowers are called spiderwort, and they're edible. I made a sandwich out of them last night and they were great. It's beautiful. So he's been working about 9 years. This used to be an orange grove. It's an abandoned orange grove that he moved into out here, and he's been doing a lot of different cool things. One of the things that really stuck with me, this is one of them. It's not a very good demonstration. There's a lot better ones that I've already taken, but he's taking native plants that are growing on the property and grafting more desirable plants onto them. There's a native plum that's out here that he's been grafting other plums onto. But besides that, you can see a lot of different things. Loquat trees, a lot of orange trees, obviously. There's a big mulberry tree right here around this corner. Oh, shouldn't zoom in. You can see it's pretty stacked with mulberries right now. And the man that lives here is Craig Hepworth, and he's been involved in Gainesville for a long time. He started the Edible Plants Project, which is still going strong over there, where they are finding edible plants. I'm not exactly sure what their mission is, but I know they're taking edible plants, and it's a non-profit, and they're working to propagate as many as they can and spread them across the local area, and then hopefully further, to help people find plants that they don't know about that grow great in our climate. So this is coming up to the front entrance of his house, and you can see his garden beds here. And what he's working on is he definitely doesn't use any kind of pesticides or herbicides, and he's working on different solutions excuse me, with mulching. This is chaya. As you can see, there's what you call weeds, or there's undesirable plants all along the periphery here. And one of the tasks is figuring out how to keep them from popping up in the garden. So he's experimenting with mulching and other things, but he's trying not to take any large scale he's trying not to take too much mulch from outside the property, from local wood chippers and things like that. So it's all kind of an experiment, but he's been doing it for a while. This is one that I hadn't even heard of. Can't see a good. Okay, that's a little better. It's called Magento Spring Lamb's Quarters. And if you look at it, you take these, and you can take this whole thing. I held it wrong here. You can take this whole thing, and you can eat it. And it's tasty. I had never heard of it before. So there's things like that, and that turns into like a 7-foot tall tree. He says once it gets into summer, it starts just getting like real thinned out, and it doesn't do much. But all these, and you see them popping up here, all in here. Those all grew from seedlings that just fell from the tree. He didn't even plant them, so he just lets them keep going. And he's got more chia here. He said that's one of his main staples is chia and yams, or a type of sweet potato. And then he's also got kale growing here and some chives over there. And some of this stuff has gone to seed. He's letting the seeds drop. He's got tomatoes over here. And then some more greens over there. You see, he's not even sure exactly what they are. And then greens here, and onions. He's got some squash that are about to start going in. And this, I'm gonna have to back up here. This is the place. I'll give you a quick tour of the inside. Oh, and he uses all hand tools. He doesn't use any electric tools. So you can see this giant sickle thing right there. You can use that to cut weeds, shovels, a log splitter. This is a rocket stove where you can see it's been just used. You feed in small pieces of twigs, and it's a very efficiently burning stove. I can show you the logistics of it at some other point. Also got a propane stove there when this one's going to take too long. And that's my bike and all my stuff. And well, just more things. But the architecture of the house is really cool. It's very simple. Hopefully it's bright enough in here. That's where I slept last night. Craig's out of town right now. He's at a job, making some money, but he's got a hand crank blender and you know, water jug to wash dishes with. That's drinking water down there. Just a cool little setup kitchen. And he's really kind of doing it the simple way here. And he's on 5 acres. This is that was just a small walk through the driveway area, but he's been working on a lot of different trees. He's got a nursery out there. He's got another nursery where he's propagating bamboo. He's propagating a lot of desirable plants, cherry of the Rio Grande. He's got a bunch of different plants going on. He's got a bunch of different bamboo out here. Here's some bamboo. So I'll cut it off now so it doesn't get too long, but definitely stay tuned for some more videos. I think I'm going to be staying out here for a few weeks. I could see myself being out here maybe even for a month. He's just such a wealth of knowledge on plants and types of plants and their genus and species names and their Latin names. And he's just an expert on grafting plants. He's grafting small twigs like the size of this branch here onto 4-inch diameter tree trunks, and they're holding. And he's doing all different types of grafts and experimenting with different grafts and which ones do better in different seasons. So I'm very interested in learning that. So I think I'm going to hang around and help him tackle some projects and work around here for a while. So you'll definitely see more of his property and hear more about what he's doing here in Gainesville. So he's not making much money at it at all. So this is it's just a lot of experimentation that he's doing out of a passion to learn it and find solutions for people. You know, when it's time to start producing our food locally, and it's no longer reasonable to drive everything 1,800 miles to get it here. You know, so he's tirelessly working on it, so you can thank him later. But until then, thank you for joining.